Donald Trump, executive order designating the drug cartels in Mexico terrorists. Quote, the cartel's activities threaten the safety of American people, security of the United States, stability of the international order in Western Hemisphere. Their activities, proximity to, and incursions into the physical territory of the United States pose an unacceptable national security risk to the United States. Executive order signed yesterday. Now, on October 14th, 2021, I've never reported this before, but I will now. I had dinner with Donald Trump, and we discussed this executive order. He asked me, would you do it? I said, absolutely, in a heartbeat. And now the United States can kill drug cartel members without consulting with Mexico or anything like that. If you want to know how it works, read my book, Killing the Killers, about Soleimani and all of that. It's exactly the same thing. And I think this is a very good thing. Donald Trump also shut down the Border Patrol app where migrants were getting appointments to apply for asylum. That has gone dark. No more of that. No more catch and release. Joining us now from Washington, D.C. is our go-to guy on immigration matters, Stephen Camarota. He's the director of research for the Center for Immigration Studies. What is the most important thing that Donald Trump did yesterday in the executive orders vis-a-vis migration?
Well, I think first off, I'd say the tone, right? He's letting everybody know the immigration law is back in business. We're not going to be releasing people at the border. I mean, there were several things that he signed. Some obviously are just going to get stuck in the courts very quick, like an end to birthright citizenship. Others can have some impact on supporting the Border Patrol by his use of the military, though it's not clear how much more that's going to matter than what the National Guards are already doing at the border. But other things like, as you mentioned, getting rid of the CBP-1 app, which is allowing people from certain countries to schedule a hearing. These are not individuals who have a green card. These are not individuals who have any other legal right to come in, but they're just using it to parole these individuals into the United States with the possibility some way down the road of getting asylum, though as far as we can tell, most don't apply. We think we've let in 400,000 people that way. So this program, CNHV it's called, because it applies to Cuba, Nicaragua, Haiti, and Venezuela, this program, he shut it down, and that whole system of using that app. He's also tried to sign an executive order dealing with reinstating Remain in Mexico, which is a way of preventing people from just coming to the border and applying for asylum, knowing the system is overwhelmed, and being released into the United States.
Right, which was insane. So now they have to wait in Mexico, which was the policy in the last year of his first term. How important is the executive order designating the cartels, which of course are smuggling tons of narcotics, and they are people smugglers as well, into the USA? How important, in your opinion, Stephen, is that executive order?
Well, it's certainly the first time anyone's ever done that. I think time will tell if it really makes an impact. But we know the cartels are involved in smuggling and human trafficking. So if we can go after them more effectively because of this, that could have an impact. We'll have to see. I mean, they're very powerful, very rich, and we have limits on what we could do to them in Mexico without greatly angering Mexico. And in terms of cooperation on migration, greatly angering Mexico may be a problem. But I think, I'm just not sure, Bill. I have to be totally honest. Let me mention another thing he did.
Go ahead.
He's basically put the refugee settlement program on hold to give it an top to bottom, if you will, review. So that was over 100,000 new people coming in each year. And so that's another big change. And I think that was another thing that he did was very wise.
What Trump has done is added bureaucracy to people coming in here. Sometimes that's unfair, as with Afghanistan, but that's what he's done. I believe the terror order will ultimately lead to the destruction of the cartels if Donald Trump executes it, pardon the pun, the way he did with the terrorists in the Middle East. Because now we don't have to consult with Mexico City. We'd be foolish to, because so many of those people are on the take. They've been bribed by the cartels. They tip them off for any criminal raid or anything like that. So from the space, you isolate a cartel leader or members, and boom, the drone just wipes them off the face of the earth. That's going to send a lot of fear into those criminal precincts. Final question. Have you ever reached a conclusion about why President Biden opened that border that led to so much pain for this country?
Right. So just to remind your listeners, he released, at least purposely as a matter of policy, 7 million people caught at the border. We think that the number of people we saw going through and didn't stop was about 2 million, maybe more during his administration. And that's on top of people we didn't see sneak in. So this was totally unprecedented. You want to know why he allowed this to happen. In fact, he adopted policies that greatly facilitated. The short answer is probably maybe he wasn't that aware. I mean, I think that people who are
Then
very
why did people behind him do it? There's got to be a reason why they did it.
right. And the reason I think they do it is at its core, they see restrictions on immigration into the United States as motivated by racism and ethnic animus. And ipso facto, the border's kind of illegitimate. Now, they'll pay lip service, they'll send some people back, but someone like Mayorkas is just fundamentally hostile, if you will, seemingly to America's sovereignty. That's the only way to explain this crazy policy.
Far left progressive nonsense. Stephen, thanks very much as always. We really appreciate it.